right. Let's start out by saying Barakateh Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Hakodash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one is It's All a Trap. I'm here with the Elder Damashapat.
Shalom, shalom.
And we're about to, do a quick little lesson. And pretty much this lesson is inspired by a video we were watching earlier. The bishops in Connecticut, Bishop Menatazak and Bishop Anap. And pretty much, they were going into, going into their thing, so to speak, in the spirit. And the Bishop Menatazak mentioned Isaiah, the 32nd chapter. I forget exactly what he said. I'm trying to remember exactly what he said, but it kind of sparked my mind to just go, to the scripture and look a few things up. So what we're going to do is we're going to read it and go to a couple of words and then, break it down, because it's all a trap. And it's been a trap ever since, pretty much ever since Esau got here, it's all been a trap. And pretty much the system that we see coming into place, it's been pretty much set up, of course, by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, but by the serpent pushing, this legislation to pretty much ensnare and entrap the whole entire world. All right, that's why it's a trap, because it all started by contracts, it started by legislation, so on and so forth. This is why it says that the beast spoke as a dragon, and that's what's making them speak as a dragon. This legislation that they're putting in place to pretty much entrap the people, and then the digital system coming into place is also a way to trap people up. So let's read that, Dimesh.
This is Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 6. It says, "For the vile person will speak villainy in his."
Now, the vile person represents the foolish person. And who is that foolish person? Esau. They are the vile person. They are the foolish person that this is speaking about. So it says that the vile person, right, will speak what? Villainy. Go ahead. Which means foolishness. And they really believe in their heart of hearts that they're going to continue on in this wicked society. That's why the scriptures say, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee? So in other words, you're ruling by wicked means. Do you think you're going to continue to rule in that fashion? No, because the next kingdom that's coming is going to be ruled in righteousness. And this world, as the scriptures say in the Apocrypha, this world doesn't go down, the next world will not be established. So we're witnessing this world falling apart, and the Edomites that are ruling, they're doing things and pushing things upon the earth that's making their kingdom crumble and collapse even faster. So hurry up, you're doing a good job. So hurry up.
And it's like the Lord is making it to where the things that they do to try to upset prophecy, forward prophecy even more. It's like, they try to escape the prophecies and go another way, but it's still, because they don't have the understanding of the book.
Right.
We have the understanding, so the thing, so it's just like that, they're being made to serve prophecy out, man.
Right, and they don't even know it.
Yep.
You work for the Most High, fool.
Yep.
You got it.
It says, and his heart will work iniquity to practice hypocrisy.
Right, to practice hypocrisy. And what does the word practice means? To put it into use. And that hypocrisy pretty much is just that, hypocrisy. Because they're making the world believe that they're these benevolent, righteous people, but everything they do is a total opposite. Go ahead.
Oh, it's like it. It says to practice hypocrisy and to utter error against the Lord.
Right, and to utter error against the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. That's why in the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter, in the first verse, I'm going to read that real quick. Revelation 13:1, it says, "And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. This represents Esau's whole system, their whole structure, beginning with the Greeks, all the way up until modern day America. It says, and upon his horns 10 crowns, which represents EU, the EU now, which started off as the EEC, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy." See, So the name of blasphemy means what? To speak and utter, slanders against the Most High. That's why it says, and to utter error against the Lord, because they're saying that they're the people of the Lord, but their actions are showing different. This is why Yahweh Bashem Shai said, unto the wicked, why has declared statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenants in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instructions and castest my words behind thee. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any, any interjections, jump on in.
It says to make empty the soul of the hungry.
Right, to make empty the soul of the hungry, because they're drawing Jake in, right? And Jake is pretty much, the majority of Israelites out here are under, the mercies of these devils, right? It says to make empty the soul of the hungry, because they're not really giving Jake what they're supposed to get in order to benefit them. What they're giving Jake is a way to further enslave them. And when you go back, well, before we even hit that, go ahead, read on.
It says, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail.
Right, because right now, everything that Jake has, for the most part, they're receiving from Esau. But he's going to make all of that fail, because the system into place is predicated upon complying with the rules and regulations that are coming. So the whole time when they're so-called freeing Jake, they're really enslaving Jake under jurisdictional legislative powers under the 13th and 14th Amendment. Go ahead.
It says,
and open up the tools part for the 7th verse.
So for the 7th verse right here?
Yeah, and read that, because we're going to get a couple of words out of that. So just click on it. Click on tools, and then just read the verse.
God, it says, the instrument also of the churl are evil.
Right. It says the instruments also of the churl are evil. Now the churl represents someone that's stingy, niggardly. All right? And they're making it seem like they're helping the world, but they're really not. Let's see. Let's look up this word instrument real quick. Hit that word, and then we're going to go back, because there's one major word here that I want to get that's heavy. Whenever you're ready, read it. Kalaya, you got it?
Yeah, kalaya, it says article, vessel, implement, utensil. It said article, object, utensil, implement, apparatus, vessel.
Right, which is what? These are the instruments that they're using. Now read that part, the next one.
Implement of hunting or war.
Right, implement of hunting or war. So what they're doing is, by these instruments that they got in place, which is what? The legislation, they're hunting. They're waging war against the citizens, especially the Israelites. Remember, it says that that there's going to be a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. So what you see coming in place, and what you see that has been set up to so-called free Jake, is nothing more than use a way to enslave Jake again or further, and then use that also to enslave the rest of the nations of the planet through this new system that's coming into place. Now let's go back and let's read, because like I said, there's one major word that I want to get out of here that's heavy.
It says the instruments also of the churl are evil. He devised wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words.
Right. He devises the wicked devices. Let me say, he devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words. And those lying words are the so-called assurance that you're going to be taken care of. You're going to be okay. All you have to do is comply with this. Just like the jab mandate, just like many different things. This whole system and the legislation in place, these are lying words that Jake is hoping on in order to be able to prosper, in order to be able to live, to survive. You see? So they're ensnaring the world, trapping them by this legislation that they're putting in place. Go ahead.
It says, even when the needy speak right.
Right, even when the needy speaketh right. So let's go to the speaketh right part and click on that so you can see something. Because what is Jake's main thing that they're asking for in this society? Matter of fact, go to the word right. The main thing that Jake is asking for is what? Justice. The word there is what? Mashapat. Mashapat. Now scroll down. It says what?
It says judgment, justice, ordinance.
Right, judgment, justice, ordinance. What is an ordinance? It's an order, a law. So Jake is asking for what? For justice. So there's war prepared against him by this legislation that they're passing, and Jake is pretty much just wants peace. But they don't understand that you're looking for peace from the serpent. You're looking for peace from the devil, the same one that put you in this predicament that you're in. Go ahead.
It says
Act of deciding a case.
Khan.
And this is why the Lord said that the Lord will not at all acquit the wicked, because their possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. But the Lord is going to hold them guilty. He's not going to acquit the wicked, because they're not going to judge themselves. They're not going to pay for what they're doing. All they're doing is constantly, continuously ensnaring Jake more and more. And this is why you have to understand the serpent's laws. You know, like as far as them pushing the stuff that they push out there to make it seem like you're free, like the 13th and 14th Amendment. But all the 13th and 14th Amendment did was set up other amendments, so to speak, to further enslave you, further enslave all of us. It had nothing to do with freeing you or freeing us. It had everything to do with finding ways to be able to
forward your oppression. Yeah, forward our oppression.
You got it. You got it.
Yeah, they want the, and then another thing, everything this devil does is an illusion to make you feel comfortable, like the apostle was saying. And people that don't have faith fall for these gimmicks,
Right.
these tactics, but us, we would trust in the Lord, man.
That's right. Right, because right here, I'm going to read this real quick. This is the 13th Amendment, Section 1. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, right? So it's not supposed to exist. Slavery or involuntary servitude, meaning if you volunteer, that's cool. But if you don't volunteer, they can't just forcefully put you in slavery. Then it goes on to say, except as a punishment for crime, whereof the party shall have been duly convicted. So only way they can put you back in slavery is if you commit a crime. So if they put charges on you and label you as a criminal, label you as an offender, now they can put you in slavery. This is why in prisons they have what? In prisons they have labor that's cheap labor. You could say damn near free, That's why they're doing that. That was a way of them keeping you in captivity, keeping you in slavery, without you being labeled a slave. All right? It says, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. Now, let's go to the 14th Amendment. Let's go to the 14th Amendment, if you could pull that up. I'm going to show you something here in the 14th Amendment. Yep. There you go, right there. Boom, right there. Just click on that. Now check this out. It's, wait till it come up.
Okay.
Is it coming up?
Okay.
All right. Go right to this. All right. It says all persons born or naturalized in the United States and what subject to the jurisdiction thereof. You see? And that jurisdiction is key. This is why when you're born, they have what? It's birth certificate. Your mother signs the birth certificate, signs you over into this new way, as a slave. And then everything else you do from that point on you get a social security number, you get your driver's license, you get these different, what they call adhesion contracts, and through your signature, you agree to be under or subject to the jurisdiction thereof. Therefore, they can come and tax you. They can do whatever they got to do because you are acknowledging that that they have jurisdiction over you. You see? It says, are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside, no state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of the citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, which goes back to what? To the 13th Amendment, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. So it's all predicated upon the laws. Go to we got two, I got, if you have anything, you want to bring out, feel free. Let's go to Isaiah 10. Let's get Isaiah 10 real quick. So that shows you that how heavy that is. You know? It shows you how heavy that is, that, everything that these devils are doing is all done by way of legislation. Isaiah 10 and 1, you can read that.
Isaiah 10 and 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed.
Right, so destruction to them, because what they're doing is they're giving you the false sense of hope. And they're entrapping you and ensnaring you by guile. But they're not really, they make you think that you're free, but you're really not free. There's one thing if you know that you're not free, that you are a slave subject to these laws by way of contracts, but it's another thing to think that you're free and to think that these laws really protect you, and they don't. Go ahead.
It says to turn aside the needy from judgment.
Right, to turn aside the needy from judgment. Did we not just read in Isaiah 32 when the needy speaketh right? And the word there was what? Mashapat, which is of judgment, because that's all no justice, no peace, right? They're looking for justice, they're looking for peace. They're looking for a way to fit in. But you don't understand that this devil is the whipping stick of the Most High. He was set up to kick you in the ass. You're not going to get justice from this devil. You're not going to get reparations from this devil, true reparations. Go ahead.
And to take away the right from the poor of my people.
Right, and then when you take away the right from the poor of the Lord's people, what happens? They have nothing. Go ahead.
That widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless.
Right, because how many Jake out there you really know that have, that can leave an inheritance to their people, to their families. I'm talking about land and homes and riches and all of that.
Yeah.
Cattle. You got it, D-Mash? What you want to say?
No, it's I was just gonna say, like, everybody, like, when people usually die, they haven't even paid for their home. So what happens? That home goes back to the bank. It doesn't go to the family.
Right.
Because it's in that person's name. And then they send you through all this red tape, even if that person owes, like, say a person has a $250,000 home. Say if they paid over the years, they paid what? $170,000-$180,000 odd. They've sent you through all kind of red tape to take over the payments because they don't want that home to be passed through the family.
Right. They want to make money off of you and then take that same property that you paid all this money on and give it to somebody else.
Yeah, and it takes a lifetime for a person to pay. See, it takes a lifetime for a person to pay this amount of money. It takes $250,000. It is for the average working Jake is a lot of money.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then on top of that, you're not paying $250,000. That's just the price that you see.
Right.
After they add all the interest,
Yep.
all the taxes, and everything else, you're paying well over that.
Right.
The amount that you're paying is but a portion of what you pay monthly.
Right.
So that extends the payment out years.
Yeah. The interest rates. through the roof.
Then another thing they have what's called I can't think of it, fluctuating the fluctuating payments to where
Currency.
where the payments go according to the stock market. If
Okay.
the stock market takes a hit, then your payments skyrocket. Hey, these people, these homeowners, they don't have what's called a set payment. They
Right.
have a
No-
fluctuating payment that's according to the markets.
No fixed income.
Yeah, a fixed payment.
Right.
They don't have a fixed payment. They have a payment that fluctuates. That's why these people get these houses. They move in these houses, and the houses say, well, you could pay 1,300. You're gonna be paying 1,300, and then a few years down the line, they'll go up $200 on you. Well, and then they pull out the paperwork. Well, you sign this paperwork. The paperwork says that this is going to be a fluctuating payment.
In the fine print.
Yeah, according to how the market is. So people haven't budgeted that into what their monthly budget is. They go, and Jake wanted something nice, so they go to the extent of what they can pay.
Right.
Without budgeting that. So what happens is, the stock market or whatever, or the company takes a hit, then they raise the rent $200-300, and that person can't pay. What happens if that person can't pay it? Eventually, they foreclose on the home, and the bank gets it right back.
Yep. And they made all that money off of you, all that the toil and labor that you labored for, sweat of your brow, and they take it from you. That widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. Go to Micah 2:1.
Okay.
See, the scriptures got these devils, marked to a T. Because they are the wicked. You got it.
It says, Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it,
Meaning they put it into use.
because it is in the power of their hands.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. They have that power. Go ahead.
It says they covet fields and
Maui, different places where they burning shit up, just to take over. And who's there? The developers, the business owners. That these multi-billionaire, trillionaire tycoons there to buy up all of that land for what? To develop their plans, their devices, to make sure their nest egg for the future is secure.
Yeah, people hadn't even put their family members in the ground yet, and these motherfuckers was asking to buy.
Yep.
These motherfuckers asking, well, you mind if we buy out the insurance policy or whatever? If we give you this and give you an incentive or whatever, in which I'm sure in those are some Jew policies where they're gonna get more money than you see. They're gonna get more out of you than you see. It's gonna look good on paper, but then they're gonna use all these big words.
Yep.
That they know you don't know.
Yeah. These devils are not going to give you money if they don't tend to or stand a chance to quadruple their money or even more. There's always ulterior motives to this devil. That's why you got to watch them snakes.
Yep, we got to watch them snakes. It says, and they covet fields and take them by violence. It says, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
Right, because some people in Maui were saying, what? These are generational homes, lands that belong to them and to their people. And these devils in there, pushing them around to take their land. And what they do, that's violence, man. Causing all this stuff to happen, so that those people can be run out of their homes so that they can sell their lands, so that you can take it over and build up your so-called paradise, so that you can, this will be the wave of the future for you.
Yeah, and they have to, man, and you fucking police, man. They have the police barricade the people. Leave. You know why? Because if they live through this event that's happening, what they're gonna say, well, hey, I have an insurance policy on this place, and I want to rebuild, and they don't want them to rebuild. So what they do, They put police barricades in these places when it was a line of cars that exploded. Where these police barricades, where they barricaded people in. They let the children stay home from school so they can, so what? The family can all die together. While they sent a DEW a DEW beam in there and destroyed all this property.
You're gonna find out.
Hey, that's some cold shit, man.
You're gonna find out that these devils are just that, the devil.
Yeah, but you got people out there saying we don't hate this devil.
Oh man.
It says, you want me to keep reading?
No, that was it on that.
Okay.
Go from there to Habakkuk 2:8.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna find out the hard way that these devils are just that, the devil. You know?
Well, hold on. I can't hardly see.
Habakkuk. Go down all the way down to where it says Zach. Go all the way to the left.
Oh,
Right,
so
right. Go one more right there.
yeah, Habakkuk 2. Yeah.
Yeah, you're at an angle, so you can't really. Go to the 8th verse.
This is Habakkuk 2:8. It says, "Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee." And that's talking about this nation here too, man.
Yeah.
A lot of these people gonna rise up against the government because they see what's going on. They got actual videos of these beams coming down and fire starting, so they see what's going on. And there's a call to band together, but these people don't know what band together means.
Exactly. Let's come together, but like the other D-Match was saying earlier, and do what?
Yeah, and do what?
Band together and do what?
Yeah, we must wake up and do what? There's a call to wake up and do what though?
Exactly.
Yeah, because I have spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein.
So you got a lot to pay for, and then all nations are going to get a piece of your ass. You Edomites, you know, all nations are going to get a piece of your ass.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you got a lot to pay for. Go ahead.
It says, "Woe to him that coveted an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil."
Right, and that's what they do. See, these devils, what they do is they get rich off of the poor. They don't, do business deals with each other, and stack and build the money off of the wealth that they get from each other, and trading with each other. They get rich and richer from the backs of the poor. They take the little bit that the poor have and add it to their riches. That's how they get rich. You come up with an idea, whatever it may be, an invention. Come in, once you establish it, set it up, and got it all rolling and making money off of it, they come in and buy you out at a price that you won't be able to resist. And then they'll turn around and make 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 times more than you have ever done.
Exactly. Oh, this is a great idea. We want to make you a generous prophet. And then another thing, a lot of people that come up with these inventions ain't seen no real money.
No,
they don't know. They don't know. A lot of them don't know the profit that they can make off these inventions. They come out of the slums, out of the ghettos, and they don't know the profit they can make off these inventions. So, but when they see a check for $800,000,
Right.
a couple $100,000, they jump.
Right.
They jump.
And then when it turned around and then people make billions off of it, they be like, damn, I sold myself short.
Yep. Just like a lot of these entertainers.
Yep.
You gotta rent it. You gotta rent it, some rented chains and rented vehicles. Nothing that belongs to you for pennies, and you gotta go through all of this shit. To make these other people rich.
Mm-hmm. It's all a trap, man. It's all a trap. Remember, the Lord said, "You shall come to this man for the one of all things."
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me see. We don't fish off there, and then if you have anything else, we could go into it now. We can end it there.
It says, thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul.
Right. Thou has consulted shame to thy house, and that's why the Lord said he will bring shameful spewing upon your house, upon your glory. Because the way you got your glory and your riches and everything was not by right. And you're being exposed, you know, on all levels on this. And the world is seeing your nakedness.
Yep.
It's good. It says, by cutting off many people, and as what sinned against thy soul. How should I say, what can a man give in exchange for his soul? Nothing. That's why it says his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him.
Yep.
You were created to be the wicked. You will do wicked things that the wicked is supposed to do.
Yep.
And you will be judged.
Yep.
Because you are the people of the Most High's curse.
Yep. Exactly. Absoluto.
You know?
It says, for the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam, it says, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it.
Right, because all the elements shall melt with fervent heat. And that's going to be the final analysis, is that you're going to pay for all the wickedness that you've done. You know? That's a representation of your whole system, your whole kingdom crumbling. The worm is spread under you. You've pretty much been corroded. Go ahead.
It says, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establish a city by iniquity.
Right, because that's what the Lord said, and thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down and shall be found no more at all.
This is exactly what just happened in Maui. All those people died in those fires. A lot of them couldn't get out. A lot of those places that were destroyed, the insurance policies are gone. Why? Because the people didn't get out.
Right.
You know, if some people jumped out of their cars and ran past the police barricades, and they said they got down the street and they looked back and they heard cars exploding. All the people that was waiting behind the police barricades, man. And you fucking police are a bunch of puppets.
Yep.
Lock those people in. They trying to get out of a fight. Jackass, you didn't see it was a fucking fire? Oh, I'm following orders. What are you, a puppet monkey?
Right.
You know, hey man, a lot of you motherfuckers are just simple as hell, man. You know, and these people are gonna start rising up and hunting you, man. Well, that's what I'm running orders. I did what I was told.
All right, let's finish up with verse 16. But there's more, but let's just make the point right here.
It's verse 16. Thou art filled with the shame for glory.
Right, you are filled with shame for glory, because your glorious, rise to the top pretty much has been nothing but, wickedness. And it's being shown to the world. Go ahead.
It says, drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered.
Right. In other words, your nakedness is going to be shown. Go ahead.
The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee.
Yeah, because the Lord is going to reveal you by the mouth of his prophets through his word. Go ahead.
It says, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory.
Right, and that's what's happening right now. Shake the hand, exalt the voice, and you're being shameful spewing is being. In other words, your whole system is your reputation is tarnished, and everybody is seeing your reputation being tarnished, because it's been the same story with you ever since America has been established, ever since the Greeks came into power, the Romans, all the way up until modern day America. It's been the same story with you. You know?
Yep. And that's why the Lord got the prophets out here speaking against you. That's why these other nations are starting to come against you. That's why everybody's withdrawing from you, man. Because they're seeing that everything you do is a smokescreen. They're seeing that the prophet that you speak of is death.
Right.
That somebody's going to get screwed, and it ain't going to be, and it's going to be the other party.
Yeah, it's not going to be them.
Yeah, exactly, man. So people are through. People are through with this place.
They're not in trouble as other men.
Yep, exactly. But they're going to be in trouble because the Lord is going to put them in trouble.
Oh yeah.
The Lord is going to make them pay. Exactly. Khan.
You have any closing words, Elder Demashaphat?
No, man, just keep pushing, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep pushing the word, man. We almost home.
Keep on pushing, keep on pushing. So with that, we pray that you brothers and few sisters have been edified. Lord's will, see you, at the camp later on. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.